Here we go. Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Nady, and today we're going to be trying out more viral TikTok makeup hacks. As you beautiful people know, any tip you may have, please cast it away because this is a channel of positive energy, okay? Thank you. Oh, my little X-rated sand sculptures, how you doing today? I hope wherever you're at in the world you're having a spiffy day so far. I myself am doing very good. Hold on, we gotta go down a little. There we go. It's actually quite late in the day for me. Normally I'd be getting my PJs on about now, but it's just been like the grossest, most depressing, dreary day outside, and so I just need something to lift my spirits, and playing with makeup and filming with y'all always does that. I'm the kind of person that loves to grab every minute of the day by the cojones and just like make the most out of life, and I don't like going to bed feeling as though I haven't accomplished anything today, so I thought we'd come on here, make fools of ourselves, and maybe learn a few things. All right, let's just dive right into this, shall we? So I know Mr. and Mr. Welsh, who I abso-fucking-lutely adore, they do videos kind of like this, and they actually show the TikToks on their screen. Every time I do that, I get a copyright strike. I don't know why, I don't know how they do it, but the next best thing that I have is just like showing you my phone screen. This first hack that we have is by GW Makeup, and she says, if your skin looks really kind of powdery and textured and just like everything that mine is, we're gonna choose not to be offended by that read. She says if you have this kind of skin, all you have to do is mix your hydrating primer with your actual foundation, and that somehow miraculously stops any kind of cake face or like texture. So we're gonna try that on one half of my face, and then on the other half of my mug, we're gonna try a different foundation hack. And I would say the most hydrating primer that I have is this one by Laura Mercier. My camera won't even focus. It's this shit, it's freaking fabulous, and it really does a great job at hydrating my skin. And in that video, it shows them putting on primer beforehand as well, so I guess we'll take a little squirt. Oh god, it's like after my wiener dog got into my Chipotle. So we have a big ass glob of it. It's almost like the more you apply with this stuff, the better your skin looks, but I'm just gonna take a half of a big ass glob, and the other half we'll mix in with our foundation. Ooh, we're very close. Creeper alert, how's it going? All right, that feels very, very nice. Also ignore how long my beard is. We're gonna tame that thing tomorrow. I didn't think I was gonna be sitting here today, so I didn't even bother with it. I'm gonna be real, I've kind of gotten rid of most of my foundations that look like absolute garbage on my face, like why keep them? But one that looks beautiful when you use it correctly, but is very easy to fuck up, is the Juvia's Place I Am Magic foundation. I know that a lot of people love this, and I didn't understand it at first, and that's just because I went in way too heavy with this, but really, you only need like a couple drops for your whole freaking face. Now I think it's stunning, but you can very easily put too much on. So we're gonna try mixing the rest of this primer with this foundation. I'm actually gonna add a tiny bit more, and we'll see if it gives me quite as strong a cake face. I'm on a diet, I don't need cake anywhere in my life. So here we have that. It looks like either a saggy titty or an egg that's just very rotten. This is literally gonna be my ass from never working out. Okay, so instantly it did make it a bit more, I don't wanna say watery, but certainly more thin. And it is instantly oxidizing quite a bit. Not terribly though, but it did certainly get darker, which I think it does that anyways. All right, little lovebirds, here we go. We'll just plop this right on my face. And I tried to wipe as much as I could off of the brush, but there was still a fuck ton on there. Oh, we are pale. Just a little bit too light for me, but that's okay. I've also seen a lot of people mix their foundation with just like their normal moisturizer, and that seems to work pretty well too. And I did apply not a fuck ton, but maybe like an ass ton. And normally my face would be very, very cakey and like powdery and textured looking, but I dare say that looks magnificent. Holy crap balls, there was another like quarter teaspoon all bunched up on the bottom here. It's not even gonna look like I have a damn beard. Then I'm just gonna take this teeny tiny little baby poof and just tap this into my skin. This is kind of what I would normally do anyways for a foundation like this. I can mix this foundation with the fucking elixir of life and it still wouldn't look good unless I tapped it out with this. So no hack is gonna help unless we go in with this one final step. I'm gonna be 1000% honest with you. This looks so good, like so much better than it does when I just go in with it on its own. I don't know how it looks in like HD 4K. You might be seeing an actual monster, but with my vision, this looks as beautiful as like a high-end foundation. It's giving me like second skin vibes, a total blurring effect, and it covered everything. Normally with me, like full coverage just means cake face, but now I'm really curious to see how this would work work with other foundations? Like foundations that I already love, would this enhance them? Y'all, I am very, very excited. What do you think? How does it look? Let me know down in the comments below. Does it look good? Does it look bad? Do I still look cakey? And I did go in with quite a lot, so the fact that this still looks good, I am as happy as a hairy hippie, which is basically me anyways. Okay, let me try to wipe everything off of this brush. I'm gonna go in with the same foundation on the other side. I'm like at the bottom of my brush bin and I need to wash everything. I always hate washing my brushes. Like if I had to choose walking on hot coals barefoot or washing my brushes, I would have very burned feet. So this next TikTok is by Julie K. Kyles, and she's saying to put on your foundation and then put your primer over your foundation. It's supposed to like blur your face. It's supposed to help lock everything into place, as opposed to doing like the normal thing, which is the reverse, putting your primer before your foundation. I've seen this video all over my Instagram. I either have naked men or makeup hacks. There's like no in between. Since I don't have a naked man here today, we're gonna try this. But I think the biggest point of this is to kind of blur your foundation. And so for this, I'm not gonna go in with a hydrating primer. Let's try a blurring primer. This one is also from Laura Mercy Gay. This is the Blurring Pure Canvas Primer. And I'm only using this foundation because, like I said, it can get a little bit cakey. So I think on my forehead, I'm gonna go in pretty sparingly like I normally would. And then maybe down here, I'm gonna go in a little bit more heavy-handed because I kind of feel like this would be a great hack if you're a makeup artist or maybe you're on the go and you just apply a little bit too much foundation. So to reduce the cakiness of that little faux pas, this might be the perfect trick. Oh my God, there's fur or something on my eyeball. Wow, this side really does look great though. So my forehead will be kind of like an everyday scenario, and then down here will be like an extreme case. All right, we'll grab a little baby bit on the brush and just start painting up here. And I'm also gonna bring that down here. And I think before I go in with this hack, I'm actually gonna let it dry down a little bit because I do wanna see if there really is that big of a difference between the sides or if it's just my mind playing tricks on me. When pretty much your only company is like 2 pounds and furry, you notice that your mind starts to go a little bit and play a few tricks on you. So we'll see if there really is that big of a difference. All right, the forehead should be good. So I'm gonna go in with another little bloopy right down here. It's just crazy to me how like 1 year can make the biggest difference in somebody's skin. Like when I first reviewed it, probably no matter how thin I applied it, it wasn't gonna look good because I did have a lot of dry patches on my skin. My skin was kind of like crumbly. And I'm actually noticing that on the layered bit down here, it really doesn't even look that bad. Like even caked on, it looks a million times better than the first time that I reviewed it. So maybe this like wasn't the best foundation to do this with because it's not as bad as I thought. Okay, just like the other side though, I am gonna go in and tap it with my little mini poof. Also, I've got orange nails today. It's like I fisted a creamsicle. So now that this is tapped out, I think I'm actually gonna give it maybe 2 or 3 minutes because this side, now that it's like fully dried down, it actually does look pretty textured and kind of dry. And it's really setting into my fine lines up on my forehead, which is kind of to be expected. This is a very creamy formula. I probably needed to powder it, but it does seem to be changing ever so slightly. Like a couple minutes ago when I started applying this side, it didn't really look as though I had anything on. It was giving me a serious second skin look, but now it does look like I'm wearing makeup. I don't know if that primer is like sinking into my skin and maybe evaporating or something. Oh, see now my whole face on this side does look pretty cakey and textured. Both sides are starting to look really dry. So I guess before I let it get any drier, let's go ahead and put a little bit of the primer over this just before it starts like really sinking into everything. I wouldn't say the side with a hydrating primer mixed in is awful, but I still think you should go in with way less than what I applied, and I do think that would help. So I would probably give the moisturizing side maybe like a 7 out of 10. That's pretty fair, but right now this side is just awful. I don't know if you can see it. Let's get you zoomed in. I've got a little bloopy of it right there. I'm just gonna mix it in my bristles. And let's start with it down here. I'm just gonna kind of tap it on. I don't want to disrupt anything. In the TikTok video, it looked like they used like a blurring stick as their primer. Okay, that didn't really do much, so I'm gonna take another little bloopy. These fibers do suck up a shit ton. It's basically me in fiber form. Let's take this all around this lower part, which was very, very cakey after a couple minutes. Quite actually, That looks really good, but I'm not certain if it's just because I added a little bit of moisture to it and it's gonna dry back down in a second. So I'm not gonna go on my forehead yet. I'll just let this kind of dry down, make sure it's stippled in everywhere. It is kind of breaking up right around there, but I also didn't put a primer down before for this to really stick onto, so I'm not that surprised. I kind of wonder if this would have been better put down first, then your foundation, and then maybe a little bit more over top. All right, my loves, she is dried down and it's kind of just going back to its little cakiness. In fact, it might be getting worse. Do I have like a blurring stick primer? I do have the e.l.f. Poreless Putty. I could dip my brush into that. Whoo, that's a lot. Let's go over this with that because this really is a great primer. I need to use it more often, but I always forget about it. But that primer seemed to have added kind of like a white hue to this face, and it is just lifting everything up. So I don't know. I don't love that hack. I don't know that I used the correct primer, so I can't fairly judge that, but using the primers that I used, that did not help at all. In fact, it kind of fucked up the integrity. Like now it's just, shit. Now the foundation is literally just like sliding off of my face. I guess I could see how this in theory would work, but with the products that I used today, it didn't. Let me quick try it on the forehead though, where I applied it much thinner. It could just be that this side had way too fucking much on it. It is absolutely plausible. For some reason, that primer just does not like this foundation. It's just lifting it right up. Oh, damn, Jenny. That is atrocious. Okay, I can't fully debunk this because this could absolutely be user error. 9 out of 10 times, it totally is. But in all honesty, I think your best bet is to one, either go in much more sparingly and build up, or just get a better fucking foundation that doesn't look like cake on your face. I know for some people that's really difficult. I've been there, but foundations do exist for everyone, I promise. Just might have to go like spelunking in caves and like to the middle of the earth to find it, but it's there. Our next TikTok hack is from this gorgeous young gal, Nat Celine, and she is saying when applying powder, don't go in with a brush. Instead, you're supposed to pat it on, which I kind of already knew that. The term beating your face literally comes from beating your face with powder. It's like an old drag queen term. So that one I already knew, and she's actually not quite applying that correctly. Well, no, there isn't an incorrect way to apply it, but the way that I was taught in makeup school, which I only attended one semester, but it was theater makeup, so if that counts for anything. The way that I was taught to apply powder is take a little poof like this. Gonna take a shake of it right there. You don't need that much. And then all of this good powder that's right on there, you're gonna scrunch this up and just work it into the fibers. There shouldn't be anything blowing around or loose. Go like this, you go like that, and there we go. So now with our little packed up powder poof, you just press it into your skin, and trust me, your skin will look airbrushed and flawless because you're packing the powder into your skin versus just setting it there. It's gonna last a lot longer. I guarantee you this is the only reason why a drag queen's makeup can last through 18 Lady Gaga numbers in a night. It's just really, really good, and so because it's good, it makes sense that this method was carried into like the normal beauty world. Love when that shit happens. So yeah, again, there really is no improper way to apply really anything with makeup. Whatever works for you, but that is a method that some pros use, so the more you know. Her next little hack I actually found very interesting. She takes a fan brush, and normally you use a fan brush for highlighting like your cheekbones because it's just a thin little wisp of a brush, but she actually uses it as a contour, which I find ingenious. Then you can be really precise. You can blend it out even further if you want, but just starting with that kind of harsh line gives your face a perfect edge. Do I even have a fan brush that's clean? Why am I even asking that? Of course I don't. If you don't have a clean fan brush and you still want to try this, just take a normal powder brush and go like that. You can even put like a bobby pin right there, and you can just use it as a normal fan brush. I'm gonna keep looking though. Oh, I found one. Oh, it's stained, but she's clean for the most part. She dipped into her little contours right here. I'm gonna mix them around just like I'd normally do, and it seems to be sticking onto the brush very well. Take this right here and just kind of blend it around, and just for shits, let's bring it down there. What the hell? But see how easily I'm able to just like draw out that little line? Well, yeah, that did make a very sharp carve. I don't really care for that look. Let me try blending it out a little bit more with a fluffier brush. If you do naturally have more sharp features, you don't necessarily have to contour, but if you do still contour, I could see that being a great method. And that would also be perfect if you're applying like cream contour. I personally though am probably gonna stick to using a brush like this and then just lightly stippling it on and working it in. That really works best for me, but that is kind of a useful hack. Probably not for everyone though. I'll show you a brush that you might actually like even better than this. Here we have it. It's currently purple from my last Cold Blood and Cocktail episode. I'm not gonna put it on my skin right now, but this brush is so damn good. You can get this off Wish, you can get it off AliExpress, you can get it at like Sephora. This one is an SS023 Jumbo Kabuki fan. It's from Crown Brush Pro. This was probably maybe $1 or $2. And to this day, one of my all-time favorite brushes when it comes to contour, when it comes to dusting shit away. It's just so damn good. You know what? Let's just use it so that you can see exactly where it goes. But if you kind of like open up your mouth like, aw, it just rests perfectly inside your jawbone. No, your cheekbone. There we go. So like, aw. And it just is so freaking easy to use. And then you can kind of blend it up and like fan it outwards. It's just the tits, man. It's just a bigger version of that teeny tiny little fan brush. I like this method way more. 10 out of 10 recommend. This is fun. I'm really glad we did this. Thank you for being here. I know I always say it, but I truly do from the bottom of my heart mean it. Like I know people are so fucking busy and you choose to spend your time with me. I am just absolutely honored. So thank you. Our last little TikTok comes from Glamzilla and she's just using like a chapstick on her eyes to apply her makeup. So it starts with her applying the shimmer and then this gorgeous gal comes up and kind of explains why that happens. You can basically use any kind of chapstick or lip product as a medium to pick up any kind of shimmer. She just dips the ass end of her chippy chap into like a blush and it spreads out magnificently. But I will say, if you're gonna use an oil-based lip balm like what I have, it'll probably like 99% disrupt your foundation or any kind of cream that you're putting it over. After all, a lot of people use oil to remove their makeup, so it just makes sense. So if you're gonna do this hack, maybe just use it on like no face-based days when you're wanting maybe like a little bit of blush and that's all. Or in this case, to help your shimmer stick on. So here we have the LA Girl Break Free Eyeshadow Palette. I love this little baby. And this is an EOS, I think. It smells like watermelon. I love it. And I'm not sure how this would work with a matte, but we'll try it. But let's first start with the shimmer. Let's go into a super poppin' one right here. And I dipped that in. She's stuck the fuck on. Here we go. I don't normally put chapstick on my eye. Oh! Shit on me. That's actually going on really well and there's a lot left on there. Okay, so now that it's on there, let me see if I can kind of spread this around or if I touch it, if it just gets fucked up. You know what might actually be a better hack? I'm actually gonna take some of this on my finger and then press it onto my eye so that the shimmer has something sticky to lay onto. Then with a different finger, let me dip back into the eyeshadow and I'm just gonna press it right there. Oh, see, bitch, that works just as good, if not better. One, you weren't fucking up your chapstick and dipping something that's been all over your nasty mouth into something that's now going onto your eyeballs. And two, I'm actually able to be a bit more precise. My eye doesn't feel heavy from the chapstick, and shit is sticking on as if I put down a glue. And there really isn't that much fallout underneath my eyes either. I'm gonna take a little bit more lip balm on the outer corner of my eye and dip into one of these mattes. Ooh, this might actually be a fantastic method. I know they make eye primers that are bangable, but if you're like in a pinch or you need something to really, really stick, this could be excellent. I don't know that I'd be able to use this with brushes. This definitely seems more like a finger bang moment where you're gonna wanna blend this shit out with your phalanges, but everything is sticking down. It looks pretty good for the most part. It is, I guess, somewhat patchy and yeah, okay, I think I would just stick to shimmers if I'm gonna use this. So they also said that you could try this with blushes. Blush. I think I'm gonna dive into this iconic London palette, into this kind of like peachy shimmery blush. So we'll take a good little scoopy doopy of that right there. Ooh, instantly that creates a beautiful texture and it feels exactly like a cream blush. So let's apply that right. Let's do this side. This side was a little bit heavier with the foundation, so I'll be able to see if it does indeed pick up my foundation. Ooh, yeah, that just like eats that shit away, but the color is absolutely there. This is totally something that I would do if I didn't wear any foundation, like just on a normal day. And even though it did pick up my foundation, it's not picking up terribly, but if you are able to get cream blushes to work, which I usually can't, this would honestly probably work for you. Wow, I am very pleasantly surprised. That hack totally works. Again though, if you're gonna use it on the eyes, I would probably stay away from using mattes. It's not impossible to use with mattes, but in my opinion, the shimmers look way better. And it's still sticking down too. Like, there is very little fallout. There is some fallout because, let's be real, I went in with an actual pound of shimmer, so it would be a damn miracle if there wasn't some kind of fallout. But for the most part, that looks so good on my eye. It's adding such a nice glossy look. It's still very comfortable. All right, so now that we've been sitting down for a little while, I will admit this side of my face does look much better than this side. Neither really looks ideal. I feel like this is a good way to make a product maybe spread a little bit farther. I also feel as though a moisturizer could do the same, and so like, why waste your primer? But I don't think it's a total fail. I could see it working. What was kind of a fail, at least for me, was putting my primer over my foundation. I have seen it work for a lot of people, so I'm gonna say that I just used the wrong either foundation or primer, so I really have no business debunking that. But my absolute favorite hack from today was this chippy chap on the eye or on the face or wherever the fuck you want to put it. Your peenie, your toes, the areola, anything, it's up to you. But specifically on the eye, this shit looks bomb diggity. Probably gonna use that hack like in real life. What did y'all think of this? Let me know down in the comments below if you like these kind of hack videos. I'm always looking for new hacks to try, so make sure you follow me on Twitter or on Instagram. Oh wait, no, these are TikTok hacks, aren't they? Follow me on TikTok too, what the hell. But please tag me in any kind of thing that you'd like to see me try, whether it's stupid, silly, fun, or just downright redonkulous. I'm always down to try shit. So my loves, there you go. Once again, thank you so much for being here. And I'm sure by now you know my little outro. If you'd like to support me and my channel just a little bit more, please feel free to join us over on Patreon. It's patreon.com/poplux. There you get videos a day early, you get Patreon only content, plus best part, it is cheap, fun, and fancy just like me. And like always, please be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell down below so that you're notified anytime I upload a new video. Don't forget my newest collection of highlighters, including Black Ice, which just changed from black to white, will be available again soon at thepoplux.com. Also, my latest album, Kiss of Fame, is available everywhere online that music is sold. Thank you so much to everyone who's supporting them. Comment down below, let me know what you thought of this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter at officialnady, and you can follow me online at thepoplux.com. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I will see you again soon. Bye!